Have you ever gazed into the eyes of a stranger and felt a flicker of recognition, as if you were remembering a dream you never had? Or perhaps you've walked through an ancient city, the stones beneath your feet whispering secrets that stir something deep within your soul. What if these moments are not mere coincidences, but echoes, fragments of a story that began long before your first breath in this life? Tonight, we journey beyond the veil of ordinary understanding into the labyrinthine mystery of reincarnation. This is not the tale you've heard in passing, nor the simplified version found in popular culture. This is the hidden truth, the secret thread that weaves through the world's oldest wisdom traditions, the silent force shaping destinies, relationships, and the very fabric of your existence. Imagine for a moment that your life is not a single chapter, but a page in an ancient, ever-unfolding book. Each joy, each sorrow, each inexplicable longing is a line written by a hand older than memory itself. What if the choices you make today are not only the result of your upbringing or your DNA, but the culmination of countless lifetimes, each one a lesson, a test, a step on a spiral staircase that ascends beyond the stars? In this video, we will peel back the layers of time and tradition to reveal the hidden truth about reincarnation. We'll explore the secret teachings of sages and mystics, the philosophical puzzles that have haunted humanity for millennia, and the practical techniques that can help you glimpse your own soul's journey. Along the way, we'll confront the paradoxes, the controversies, and the profound implications of this ancient doctrine. Are you ready to remember who you truly are? To awaken the memories that slumber in your spirit? And to discover the purpose that calls you from beyond the boundaries of this life? If so, join me as we step into the shadowed corridors of the past and unlock the mysteries that await in the hidden truth about reincarnation. To truly grasp the enigma of reincarnation, we must first journey backward, through the mists of time, across continents, and into the sanctuaries of the world's most ancient wisdom traditions. Reincarnation is not a modern curiosity, nor a fleeting trend. It is a doctrine as old as civilization itself, whispered in the temples of Egypt, chanted in the forests of India, and pondered in the marble halls of Greece. Let us begin in the East, where the concept of rebirth is woven into the very fabric of spiritual life. In the Upanishads, the ancient Indian texts that form the philosophical heart of Hinduism, the soul, called Atman, is described as eternal, journeying from body to body like a traveler changing garments. The Bhagavad Gita, that luminous dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna, proclaims, "As a person sheds worn-out garments and wears new ones, likewise, at the time of death, the soul casts off its worn-out body and enters a new one." Here, reincarnation is not a punishment, but a process, a cosmic school in which the soul learns, evolves, and ultimately seeks liberation from the cycle of birth and death, known as samsara. Buddhism too embraces the wheel of rebirth, but with a subtle twist. The Buddha taught that what reincarnates is not a fixed self, but a stream of consciousness, propelled by karma, the law of cause and effect. Each life is a ripple in an endless ocean, shaped by the intentions and actions of previous existences. The ultimate goal is not merely to remember past lives, but to transcend the cycle altogether, awakening to the boundless freedom of nirvana. Travel westward, and you will find echoes of these ideas in the mysteries of ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed the soul, or Ba, would journey through the underworld, facing trials and judgments before being reborn. The famed Greek philosopher Pythagoras claimed to remember his own past lives and taught that the soul migrates from body to body, learning and purifying itself through each incarnation. Plato, in his dialogue Phaedrus, described the soul's descent into the world of matter and its eventual return to the realm of pure forms, a journey of forgetting and remembering, of exile and homecoming. Even in the Abrahamic traditions, where reincarnation is less overt, there are tantalizing hints. Some early Christian sects, such as the Gnostics, spoke of the soul's journey through multiple lives. The Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah teaches Gilgul, the transmigration of souls, as a means of spiritual rectification. Why has this idea persisted, resurfacing in so many cultures and epochs? Perhaps because it answers questions that haunt every human heart. Why are we born into such different circumstances? Why do we carry unexplainable fears, talents, or affinities? Why does life seem at times so uncannily just or unjust? Reincarnation offers a framework for understanding the apparent randomness of fate. It suggests that our lives are not isolated accidents, but chapters in a vast, interconnected story. It invites us to see ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as participants in a grand cosmic drama. Each life a stage, each experience a lesson, each relationship a reunion or a reckoning. Yet for all its allure, reincarnation is not without its mysteries and controversies. Is it a literal process, a metaphor for psychological growth, or something stranger still? What evidence, if any, supports these ancient claims? And how might the hidden truth of reincarnation transform the way we live, love, and seek meaning in a world that so often feels fragmented and fleeting? These are the questions we will begin to unravel as we move deeper into the heart of the mystery. In the next section, we will peel back the layers of doctrine and delve into the core concepts that underlie the hidden truth about reincarnation. To understand reincarnation, not as a mere belief, but as a living, breathing reality, we must step beyond the boundaries of dogma and enter the realm of the soul's journey, a journey as intricate and mysterious as the spiral patterns found in nature, from the whirls of a seashell to the arms of a distant galaxy. Imagine for a moment that your soul is a traveler on a vast and winding road. Each lifetime is a different landscape, sometimes lush and abundant, sometimes barren and harsh. The traveler may wear many disguises, king or beggar, artist or warrior, mother or child, but beneath each mask, the same spark of consciousness endures, gathering wisdom, bearing scars, and seeking something just out of reach. At the heart of reincarnation lies the law of karma, a principle as subtle as it is profound. Karma is not a system of reward and punishment, as it is often misunderstood, but a law of spiritual physics. Every thought, word, and deed sends ripples into the universe, and those ripples eventually return to their source. Picture a pond at dawn. Drop a single pebble, and the water shivers outward in perfect circles. So too do our actions, intentions, and even our deepest desires shape the conditions of our future lives. But karma is not fate. It is not a rigid script, but a field of possibility. Each life offers new choices, new opportunities to heal old wounds, to break ancient patterns, to plant seeds of compassion and wisdom. In this way, reincarnation is not a prison, but a path, a spiral staircase that leads, step by step, toward greater freedom and self-realization. Consider the analogy of a school. Each incarnation is a grade, a classroom where the soul studies the lessons it most needs to learn. Some lessons are simple: patience, kindness, humility. Others are more complex: courage in the face of loss, forgiveness of those who have wronged us, or the surrender of pride and ego. If a lesson is not mastered, it returns in a new form, perhaps with different faces and circumstances, but always with the same underlying theme. The universe, it seems, is a patient teacher. This is why in the esoteric traditions, life's challenges are not seen as punishments, but as invitations. The difficult parent, the unrequited love, the sudden loss, these are not random misfortunes, but carefully chosen experiences designed by the soul itself before birth. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it is said that the soul, between incarnations, reviews its past life, and selects the circumstances of its next, seeking the precise conditions that will foster its growth. Yet, the memory of these choices is veiled at birth. We enter each life as if stepping onto a stage, the script forgotten, the purpose hidden in the depths of the unconscious. This amnesia is not a flaw, but a feature. It allows us to experience each moment freshly, to make choices freely, and to discover, through trial and error, the deeper patterns that shape our destiny. But sometimes, the veil thins. A child recalls details of a life they could not possibly have known. A dream reveals a scene from another era, vivid and haunting. A sudden phobia or affinity emerges, inexplicable in the context of this life, yet resonant with the logic of another. These glimpses are like cracks in the wall of forgetting, reminders that our story is far older and more intricate than we imagine. In the next section, we will journey deeper into the labyrinth, exploring the nuances, paradoxes, and lesser-known aspects of reincarnation. We will examine the evidence, the controversies, and the ways in which this ancient doctrine continues to shape our understanding of self, fate, and the ultimate purpose of existence. As we descend further into the labyrinth of reincarnation, the path grows more intricate, the shadows deeper, and the questions more profound. For if the soul is indeed a traveler, and each life a lesson, what of the mysteries that defy easy explanation? What of the paradoxes that challenge our understanding of time, identity, and memory? One of the most enigmatic aspects of reincarnation is the phenomenon of soul groups, clusters of souls who journey together across lifetimes, playing different roles in each other's stories. Imagine a troupe of actors performing countless plays together. In one life, a soul may be your parent. In another, your child, friend, or even adversary. The roles shift, but the underlying connection endures, bound by threads of love, karma, and shared purpose. This idea, found in both Eastern and Western esoteric traditions, suggests that our most significant relationships are rarely accidental. The people who challenge us most deeply, or support us most fiercely, may be old companions on the soul's long road. But what of the evidence? Skeptics demand proof, and while reincarnation resists the cold scrutiny of the laboratory, there are stories that shimmer with the weight of mystery. Consider the case studies compiled by Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist who spent decades investigating children who claimed to remember past lives. Many of these children provided verifiable details, names, places, events, that they could not have learned through ordinary means. While such accounts do not constitute scientific proof, they invite us to question the boundaries of memory and identity. There are also the spontaneous memories that arise in dreams, meditative states, or moments of crisis. Some people, under hypnosis or deep relaxation, recall vivid scenes from other times and places, sometimes with emotional intensity, sometimes with a sense of detachment, as if watching a film. Are these true memories, symbolic expressions of the unconscious, or something else entirely? The answer may lie in the liminal space between psychology and metaphysics, where the soul's story is written in symbols as much as in facts. Reincarnation also raises profound questions about justice and destiny. If our present circumstances are shaped by past actions, does this mean we are to blame for our suffering? The esoteric traditions caution against such simplistic thinking. Karma is not retribution, but education. Suffering is not always the result of past misdeeds. It can also be the crucible in which compassion, resilience, and wisdom are forged. The soul, it is said, chooses its challenges not to punish itself, but to grow. Yet, there are paradoxes. If we forget our past lives, how can we learn from them? If the soul is eternal, why do we fear death? If all is predetermined by karma, Where is the room for free will? These questions have haunted philosophers and mystics for centuries. Some traditions teach that the veil of forgetting is gradually lifted as the soul evolves, allowing for greater self-awareness and conscious choice. Others suggest that the ultimate goal is not to remember every detail of every life, but to awaken to the timeless essence that underlies all experience, the spark of divinity that is never born and never dies. There are also lesser-known teachings that add further layers to the mystery. Some esoteric schools speak of walk-ins, souls that enter a body partway through a life, often after a trauma or near-death experience. Others describe the phenomenon of parallel lives, where a single soul may incarnate in multiple bodies at once, exploring different paths and possibilities. These ideas, while controversial, invite us to expand our understanding of consciousness beyond the linear, materialist paradigm. Ultimately, the hidden truth about reincarnation is not a doctrine to be believed or rejected, but a mystery to be lived. It invites us to see ourselves as more than the sum of our memories, more than the fleeting roles we play. It challenges us to live with greater awareness, compassion, and courage, knowing that every thought, word, and deed echoes across the corridors of eternity. In the next section, we will turn from theory to practice, exploring how the wisdom of reincarnation can be applied in daily life, how it can heal, inspire, and transform the way we walk our unique path through this world. Now that we have traversed the winding corridors of reincarnation's mysteries, you may wonder, how can this ancient wisdom illuminate the path of your everyday life? How can the knowledge of the soul's journey become more than a distant philosophy? How can it become a living, breathing force for transformation? The first step is to cultivate awareness. Begin by observing the patterns that repeat in your life. Recurring challenges, persistent fears, or inexplicable affinities. These may be the echoes of lessons carried over from previous incarnations, the soul's way of drawing your attention to unfinished business. Keep a journal of your dreams, intuitions, and emotional triggers. Over time, you may notice themes that point to deeper stories beneath the surface of your current existence. Meditation is a powerful tool for piercing the veil of forgetfulness. Set aside time each day to sit in stillness, focusing on your breath and allowing thoughts to drift by like clouds. As your mind quiets, gently pose a question to your deeper self. What lesson am I here to learn? Or what patterns am I being called to heal? Sometimes, images, feelings, or memories may arise. Treat them not as literal facts, but as symbolic messages from the soul. With patience and openness, you may begin to sense the larger arc of your journey. For those drawn to deeper exploration, past life regression is a technique that can offer profound insights. Guided by a skilled practitioner, you enter a relaxed state and allow your subconscious to reveal scenes, emotions, or relationships from other lifetimes. Whether these are true memories or metaphors, the healing potential is real. Many people report a release of long-held fears, a newfound sense of purpose, or a deeper compassion for themselves and others. But the most practical application of reincarnation is found in the way you live, here and now. If you accept that every encounter is meaningful, every challenge an opportunity for growth, you begin to approach life with greater mindfulness and responsibility. When faced with conflict, ask yourself, what is my soul seeking to learn from this? When you feel drawn to a person or place, consider that it may be a reunion, a chance to complete unfinished business, or to celebrate a bond that transcends time. Forgiveness becomes easier when you see others as fellow travelers, each carrying their own burdens and lessons. Compassion deepens when you realize that the suffering of another may be a reflection of your own journey, in this life or another. Even the fear of death begins to dissolve, replaced by a quiet confidence that the soul's adventure continues, ever onward, ever upward. Of course, challenges will arise. Doubt, skepticism, and the distractions of daily life can cloud your vision. The key is persistence. Return to your practices, trust your intuition, and remain open to the subtle guidance of your inner self. Remember, the journey of the soul is not a race, but a spiral, each turn bringing you closer to the heart of your own being. In the end, the wisdom of reincarnation is not about escaping the world, but embracing it more fully. It is an invitation to live with courage, curiosity, and love, knowing that every moment is both an ending and a beginning, a single note in the eternal song of your soul. As we emerge from the labyrinth of reincarnation's mysteries, let us pause and gather the threads we have uncovered. We have journeyed through ancient temples and timeless philosophies, peered into the hidden chambers of the soul, and glimpsed the profound patterns that shape our destinies. We have seen that reincarnation is not merely a belief, but a living tapestry, one that weaves together memory, karma, and the eternal longing for growth and understanding. The hidden truth about reincarnation is not found in dogma or debate, but in the quiet recognition that your life is both unique and universal. Every joy, every sorrow, every inexplicable connection is a brushstroke in a masterpiece that spans lifetimes. The soul, ever patient, ever curious, returns again and again, not as a prisoner, but as a pilgrim, seeking wisdom, healing, and ultimately, liberation. What does this mean for you, here and now? It means that your struggles are not meaningless, your relationships not random, your dreams not mere fantasy. It means that you are the author of your own story, empowered to choose, to learn, and to love with greater depth and compassion. The knowledge of reincarnation invites you to live with intention, to forgive more easily, to embrace the unknown with courage, and to see every ending as a new beginning. So I invite you, reflect on the patterns of your life. Listen to the whispers of your intuition. Try the practices we have explored: meditation, journaling, or simply living with greater awareness. Let the possibility of reincarnation inspire you to become a conscious participant in your soul's journey rather than a passive observer. And as you walk your path, remember, the story is far from over. The mysteries are endless, the lessons infinite, and the adventure yours to claim. If this exploration has stirred something within you, share your thoughts, your questions, or your own experiences in the comments below. Let us continue this journey together, as seekers, as storytellers, as souls awakening to the hidden truth that lies just beyond the veil. Until next time, may your path be illuminated by wisdom and your heart guided by the eternal song of your soul.